Good morning, students. Today we are going to study the histological features of salivary glands from practical point of view. We have already finished the lecture on salivary glands. So today we are going to see the histological features of salivary glands on slides which are available in our histology lab, and I will also show you the charts of diagrams and you have to copy them in your journals. So salivary glands are the accessory glands of secretion and they pour their secretion into the oral cavity. So there are three major salivary glands, that is the parotid gland, submandibular gland and sublingual gland. Now, parotid gland is a serous salivary gland, submandibular gland is a mixed salivary gland, and sublingual gland is a mucous salivary gland. So, for practical, you have only three slides, that is the serous salivary gland, example is parotid gland, then mixed salivary gland, example is submandibular gland, and mucous salivary gland, example is sublingual gland. Now parotid gland is a serous salivary gland. We have already seen the general structure of the salivary gland. That means it contains the connective tissue component and it has a parenchyma. So the gland is surrounded by a capsule and this capsule sends many septa, this connective tissue septa within the gland, and this septa divide the gland into many lobes and lobules. So this is the connective tissue septa, and this connective tissue septa contains the ducts and these are the interlobular ducts. In addition to that, there are blood vessels. This is blood vessel, this is vein, this is artery. So in the connective tissue septa, there are the interlobular ducts and the blood vessels. And in the parenchyma, the parenchyma contains many lobules, and in the lobule you can see the acini. Now here these are, as it is a serous salivary gland, so these acini are the serous acini. So in all lobules you can see the serous acini. In addition to that, there are ducts. Now within the lobule, these ducts are the striated ducts, and there are intercalated duct. Intercalated duct, it lies within the acinus. It enters within the acinus. So within the lobule, these are the striated ducts, intercalated ducts, and in the connective tissue septa, these are the interlobular ducts. So in the lobule you can see the acini. These acini are the serous acini. Then there are the ducts. These are the striated ducts, interlobular ducts. In addition to that, there are few adipose tissue. Now what is the structure of serous acinus? Now if you see one acinus, the shape of the acinus is rounded and it has a very narrow lumen. Then this acinus contains cells and these cells are the pyramidal in shape. Okay, so the acinus is rounded in shape and this acinus contains cells and these cells are pyramidal in shape, and each cell has a rounded nucleus which is centrally placed. Then if you see the cytoplasm, these acinas are darkly stained, and if you see the cytoplasm, the apical portion of the cell contains secretory granules and these granules are called as the zymogen granules. So these granules are called as zymogen granules and they are eosinophilic. And if you see the basal portion of the cell, the basal portion contains rough endoplasmic reticulum and free ribosomes which gives basophilic appearance. So in the apical portion, due to zymogen granules, eosinophilic appearance, and in the basal portion, uh, there are rough endoplasmic reticulum and free ribosome which gives basophilic appearance, and therefore this appearance is called as apical eosinophilia and basal basophilia. So the serous acinus, the cells are pyramidal in shape, the nucleus is rounded, centrally placed, there is apical eosinophilia, basal basophilia, and the staining of the cell is they are darkly stained. Now this is the photograph of the slide, and this is 5x magnification. So here this is the serous salivary gland under 5x magnification. Here you cannot identify the acini, but in 10x magnification you can clearly see these are darkly stained acini. These are serous acini. So all these are the serous acini. Here you can see the duct. This is the duct, which is here also this is a duct which is a striated duct. So these are the serous acini with ducts. Then this is the high power magnification, 40x magnification. Here you can clearly see the serous acini. So this is the serous acinus. Here you can see the rounded nuclei and which are centrally placed. So all these are the serous acini. Then this is the adipose tissue. So this is the adipose tissue is seen. So here in the lobule, this is the serous. These are all serous acini which are darkly stained. Then the cells are the pyramidal in shape, having rounded nucleus, centrally placed. Now this is the schematic diagram of the serous salivary gland, and this is the chart, and you have to copy this diagram in your journal. So in this diagram you can see the serous acini. This is the connective tissue septa, and the connective tissue septa divide the gland into lobules, and in each lobule you can see the serous acini. These are all serous acini. You can see the zymogen granules in the apical portion. The acini are rounded in shape, having narrow lumen. In the apical portion, there are the zymogen granules which are eosinophilic. Then the nucleus of the cell is rounded, centrally placed. Here you can see the myoepithelial cell. The cells are surrounded by myoepithelial cells. Then in addition to the acini, there are the ducts. So within the lobule, this duct is the striated ducts. You can see the striations. So this duct is a striated duct. Here the smaller duct, this is the intercalated duct. So within the lobule, there are striated ducts, intercalated ducts. Then here you can see the adipose tissue. And in the connective tissue septa, you can see the interlobular ducts. Then these blood vessels. These are the blood vessels. So serous salivary gland shows the serous acini in the lobule, and then there are the ducts, the striated ducts and the intercalated ducts, and in the connective tissue septa there are interlobular ducts. The next gland is the sublingual gland, and the sublingual gland is a mucous salivary gland. Actually, the sublingual gland is a mixed salivary gland, but predominantly there are mucous acini, and therefore it is the sublingual gland is considered as a mucous salivary gland. So in this picture you can see the connective tissue septa. This is the connective tissue septa, and this connective tissue septa divide the gland into many lobes and lobules. And in the connective tissue septa, you can see the duct. This is the interlobular duct. Then there are the blood vessels. You can see the blood vessels, and within the lobule, in the lobule you can see the mucus acini. These are the mucus acini. So predominantly there are the mucus acini. These are the serous acini, but predominantly the sublingual gland consists of the mucus acini. So all these are the mucus acini. These are lightly stained acini, and then here you can, within the lobule you can see the duct. This is the duct. This is also duct. Okay, so in the mucus salivary gland you can see the mucus acini. Then in the lobule you can see the intralobular ducts, and in the connective tissue septa there are interlobular ducts and the blood vessels. Then few adipose tissue is also seen here. Then this is the we'll see the structure of the mucus acinus. Now if you see the mucus acinus, the shape of the acinus, it is oval in shape, and the lumen is wider as compared to the serous acinus. The lumen of the mucus acinus is wider as compared to the serous acinus. Then the cells, these acinus consist of cells, and these cells are the columnar in shape. In serous acinus, the cells are pyramidal in shape. So here the cells are columnar. Then the nucleus of the cell is flattened. So here you can see the flat nuclei. So here, and these nuclei are situated peripherally. In serous acinus, the nuclei are rounded and centrally placed, whereas in mucus acinus, the nuclei are flat and peripherally placed. So in the exam, you should know the difference between the serous acinus and the mucus acinus. The serous acinus is rounded in shape. The mucus acinus is rounded or oval in shape. Then the lumen of the serous acinus is narrow, while the lumen of the mucus acinus is wider as compared to the serous acinus. Then in serous acinus the cells are pyramidal in shape. In mucus acinus the cells are columnar in shape. The nucleus of the serous cells is rounded, and here the nucleus is flattened. The nuclei are flattened. In serous acini, the nuclei are situated centrally, and in mucus acini, the nuclei are situated peripherally. So this is these are the differences between the mucus acinus and the serous acinus. Now this is the photograph of mucus salivary gland. This is the slide photograph of the mucus salivary gland under 5x magnification. So here you can see the mucus acini. These are lightly stained acini. Here this is the connective tissue septum, and this connective tissue septum contains the duct and the blood vessels. Okay, and in the lobule you can see the mucus acini. These are lightly stained. This is 5x magnification. This is 10x magnification, that is a low power magnification. So under low power you can see the acini. So these are all acini. These are mucus acini, lightly stained acini, and you can see the nuclei which are flattened and peripherally situated. This is the connective tissue septum. Here you can see the duct. This is the blood vessel. This is the blood vessel. This is high power magnification, 40x magnification. Here you can clearly see the mucus acini. So these are mucus acini, lightly stained. You can see the flat nuclei peripherally situated. The lumen is wide. So everywhere you can see the mucus acini with flattened nuclei peripherally situated. This is the duct. This is the duct, intralobular duct. This is the blood vessel. So this is mucous salivary gland under high power. Now this is the schematic diagram of mucous salivary gland. So here you can see the connective tissue septum, and in the connective tissue septum this is the interlobular duct, and within the lobule you can see the mucus acini. So these are all mucus acini. The flattened nuclei peripherally situated, the cells are columnar and these cells are very lightly stained. The serous acini are darkly stained. This is another difference. The serous acini are darkly stained while the mucous acini are lightly stained. Then you can see the ducts. This is the striated duct. This is the intercalated duct. So this is intercalated duct. This is the striated duct. You can see the striations. And in the connective tissue septa, these are the interlobular duct. So copy this diagram in your journal. And the third slide is the submandibular gland. Submandibular gland is a mixed salivary gland. So again the gland is surrounded by a capsule, and the capsule sends many septa, connective tissue septa within the gland, and divide the gland into many lobes and lobules. So this is the connective tissue septum, and this connective tissue septum contains ducts, and these ducts are the interlobular ducts. And in the lobule you can see as it is a mixed salivary gland, so in the lobule there are both acini. That means there are serous acini. So these are the serous acini, and there are mucous acini as well. So there in mixed salivary gland you can see both acini, serous acini. These are the serous acini, and these are the mucous acini. This is the adipose tissue. Few adipose tissue is seen. Then in addition to the acini, there are ducts. So here you can see the duct. This is the duct. This is the striated duct. Okay, so here you can see the duct. So in mixed salivary gland, you can see both acini. That means the serous acini and the mucous acini. Then within the lobule, you can see the ducts, intralobular ducts, and in the connective tissue septa there are interlobular ducts. Then few adipose tissue is also seen. So example of mixed salivary gland is submandibular gland. One of the important characteristic feature of the mixed salivary gland is serous demulsions. Now serous demulsions means in the mixed salivary gland there are both acini. So at some places the mucus acinus is capped by serous acinus. So the mucus acinus is capped by cells of serous acinus. So this structure is called as serous demulins, and serous demulins are seen in mixed salivary gland. Remember, the serous demulins are seen in mixed salivary gland. So in submandibular gland or mixed salivary gland, you can see the serous demulins. So serous demulins means the mucus acinus is capped by cells of serous acinus. So serous demulin, this is the mucus acinus, and it is capped by cells of serous acinus. Now this is the photograph of slides of mixed salivary gland. Here you can see in the lobule, you can see this is 5x magnification. So you cannot clearly see the mucus and serous acini, but there are both mucus and serous acini, and these are the ducts. Under low power magnification, you can see the darkly stained acini here. You can see the darkly stained acini. These are serous acini, and the lightly stained acini. These are the lightly stained acini are the mucus acini. Okay, so the darkly stained acini are the serous acini, and the lightly stained acini are mucus acini. In addition to that, you can see the ducts. So these are the ducts, striated ducts. So these are the striated ducts in the lobule, and this is the connective tissue septa. And in the connective tissue septa, you can see the interlobular duct. This is the interlobular duct. Okay, so in mixed salivary gland, you can see both acini. That means the serous acini, the darkly stained acini are the serous acini, and the lightly stained acini are the mucus acini, and these are the ducts. Then this is high power magnification, that is the 40x magnification. Here you can see the darkly stained acini. So these darkly stained acini are the serous acini, and in serous acini you can clearly see the nuclei, the rounded nuclei which are centrally placed. These are our rounded nuclei centrally placed, darkly stained cells. So these are the serous acini, and here this is the mucus acinus. You can see the flat nuclei which are peripherally placed. Okay, this is the mucus acinus. Here this is the mucus acinus. You can see the flat, this is the nucleus. So you can see the flat nuclei peripherally placed. So in mixed salivary gland, these are the mucus acini, and here these are the serous acini which are darkly stained. In addition to that, this is the duct. So within the lobule, you can see the striated ducts. These are the striated ducts. And one of the characteristic feature of mixed salivary gland is the serous demulins. Now here you can see this is the mucus acinus, and this mucus acinus is capped by the cells of serous acinus. So here you can see the nuclei of serous acinus, the rounded nuclei. You cannot see the cells clearly. You cannot see the cell margins, but you can clearly see the nuclei of serous cells. So the mucus acinus, a complete mucus acinus, and this mucus acinus is capped by serous acinus. So this structure is called as serous demulins, and this is the characteristic feature of the mixed salivary gland. So mixed salivary gland contains both acini, serous acini as well as mucus acini. There is a presence of serous demulins, and then there are the ducts. An example of mixed salivary gland is submandibular gland, and this is the schematic diagram showing on the chart. So here you can see the connective tissue septum. This is the interlobular duct. These are the blood vessels. And here in the lobule you can see the serous acini. Here these are darkly stained serous acini, and these lightly stained mucus acini. Okay, and then this is the serous demulin. So here you can see the serous demulin. This is the mucus acinus which is capped by serous acinus. Again here this is the serous demulin, mucus acinus which is capped by cells of serous acinus. So serous demulins is the characteristic feature of mixed salivary gland. Then there are the ducts are seen. These are the this is a striated duct, this is intercalated duct, and in the connective tissue septa you can see the interlobular ducts. So there are 3 slides for practicals, that is the serous salivary gland. Example is parotid gland. Then there is a mucous salivary gland. Example is sublingual gland. And mixed salivary gland. Example is submandibular gland. So all of you draw the diagrams which I have shown to you and read from the textbook. Thank you.